Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I want to try to improve with the grease pencil in Blender. So basically, we know that in Blender 2.80, the grease pencil is now an object. So it's treated like objects, and if you duplicate the grease pencil, they are all objects, and you can do things like you can skin it to armature, or you can maybe use some kind of constraint and make animation simply by using this grease pencil object. So I want to try something. So let me create an empty, for example, and then try to make this monkey head looking at the empty. Okay, so that's first. So this is basically grease pencil and constraint exercise. Okay, let's select this Suzanne and then look at object constraint. We know there's a track tool. This is something that you can use to make an object look at an object, look at other objects. So in this case, the target will be empty, and by default, it's already working. Because Suzanne, actually, if you select Suzanne and then turn on the visibility of its axis, the y-axis, y-positive axis is correctly pointing at the empty. So the setup is actually correct. 2 y-positive and then up is C. Okay, cool. Now we can move the empty around, and the grease pencil will always look at the empty. So if you want to copy that into other monkey, we can select all this monkey, and you can go under objects, constraint, copy constraints to selected object. Okay, so that's working, and you can have multiple monkey like that. But I want to try to use animation nodes and maybe make the monkey kind of doing sine wave. So let's try doing that. Maybe this is gonna be fun, or shouldn't be too hard. Basically, kind of creating like a rotating monkey. So objects, instance. So the instance object is gonna be this monkey, and I will be using a circle. Okay, circle and then matrices vector. Okay, object transform output, and let's use the vector. So vector goes into the instance. Okay, and then objects goes here, and plug this in. So now we have all this monkey. And if I'm not wrong, I think I need to turn on this as well. So we have the constraint. We don't need to do deep copy. So now it's already kind of working. Where's the, this is the Suzanne, this is the master objects. We can hide it. And we have 10 monkey. And each one of them plays in the circle. And we can have more. So it's pretty fun. Maybe let's try to make this goes ups and down. I haven't tested out, but offset vector can, I think, can do this. So we have the circle, and then this is the offset. We want to make it goes ups and down. The fall off can be maybe just wiggle. So let me turn off always, just use this. Okay, and we will be needing a timeline. So this actually makes Suzanne goes ups and down. So cool. We can also plug in multiple value here. So let's try this combine vector, and we can use random number. The number of random is based on the number of points here. Okay. All right, so this seems to be working. This actually can be like a sine wave if you want. The fall off can also be different for each one of them. So let's use wiggle fall off. So there's a lot of things, even though the setup is pretty simple, we can do this very quickly, which is pretty fun. And this is just using grease pencil, and I like this idea because why? Because we can use our own grease pencil, not just the monkey head. Let's say I want to just draw something. So let's create grease pencil, blank, and draw something maybe like some kind of seahorse. So this is pretty bad drawing of a seahorse. I think seahorse is pretty cool creatures. And okay, let's call it seahorse. And we can simply replace the master instance with the seahorse, right? And we have that kind of animations. So it's really powerful. And on top of that, you can also change the color, for example. So in this case, it's Suzanne. We have Suzanne, and we could give it a modifier, some kind of grease pencil modifier, and either change the color from the material or using something like this, colorize. Oh, maybe not colorize this. There's an option somewhere here, grease pencil opacity or tint, maybe tint or saturations. Okay, tints is kind of doing that, and then the saturations, hue saturation, and this actually can make some kind of variations for each of the Suzanne head. So this can be useful. This is, but we're gonna apply this maybe to the master, and then we change the setting of this color using animation nodes. So that can be done. I'm not gonna do it now because it might take a while, but you get the idea. So starting from here, just a circle, or you can actually use a vector, and then you use randomize. With the offset list, I could make it simpler actually. Like I said, we can use sine wave, so time, and then use math. This can be sine wave goes here, and the result can go in here. So we have sine wave. The sine wave itself is influenced by this wiggle. So which is pretty interesting in itself. And we have other kind of offset. Actually fall off. This constant, interpolate, delay. Which one is good? Maybe noise fall off. You can try all these different kind of fall off and look at the result. So now we can kind of have like a wave. Basically, I want to do some kind of offset of this monkey head, and they are all still looking at the empty, by the way. So this is really powerful setup. I want to have some kind of animations. If I want to have animation that does this, it's very easy to do, and we can also rotate the monkey if you like. Wonder if we have rotate. It's not always easy, like, so we have this circle. How do we rotate the circle? We can change the radius. We have this control over the amount, segment, but rotating a circle in animation nodes, we might need some kind of matrix. Yeah, it's easier if I'm using sphere chalk, but yeah, I guess I'll have a think on that. But the idea is if you have all this bunch of objects and then you want to make them go like this, like a sine wave, and then also rotate them at the same time. Or we can maybe just perhaps rotate the whole thing. Parent all of these objects under an empty and then rotate the empty. That will work as well. I'll let you give a think on that. I'll have a think as well, but that's pretty much what I want to show you. Basically a way to instance grease pencil and then use the constraint, and then you play around with the noise fall off and the offset vector. So this is actually quite simple, but there's a lot of things that you can create simply by using this. Play around with different grease pencil and see what you can create. All right, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.